This is your news source evening bulletin for today, Friday, the 25th day of August in the year 2023. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting, and here's what we're tracking tonight. The descendants of a former British slave plantation owner have traveled to Guyana, offering an apology for slavery and indentureship. Charles Gladstone, who was a descendant of slave plantation owner John Gladstone, apologized to the people of Guyana for the enslavement of their African ancestors, who for centuries endured harsh and inhumane conditions while being held against their will. John Gladstone owned plantations across the Marara for many years and was also the owner of many of the slaves who started the Demerara slave revolt in 1823. At the University of Guyana today, the descendant Charles Gladstone admitted that slavery was a crime against humanity and that its damaging impact continues to be felt across the world.
It is with deep shame and regret that we acknowledge our ancestors' involvement in this crime, and with heartfelt sincerity that we apologise to the descendants of the enslaved in Guyana. In so doing, we acknowledge slavery's continuing impact on the daily lives of many.
Gladstone also acknowledged his ancestors' own role in bringing indentured labourers to Guyana, and in doing so he also apologised for the clear and manifold injustices committed. In issuing his apology, he made a case for the British government to support CARICOM's 10-point plan for reparatory justice.
We support CARICOM's 10-point justice plan, and we urge the British government to enter into meaningful discussions with CARICOM so that both parties can move towards a better future together. We also urge other descendants of those who benefited from slavery to open conversations about their ancestors' crimes and what they might be able to do to build a better future.
The apology was rejected by a small group of Guyanese who gathered in the George Walcott Lecture Theatre to hear the apology. One protester shouted that she was not accepting any apology, while others described the Gladstone family as murderers and demanded reparatory justice. In an interview with reporters, Mr. Gladstone, while noting that the family had anticipated that there would be some pushback, said the protesters were all within their rights to express their feelings. He said while his family cannot change history, the family believes that the apology is a step towards a better future.
I feel deeply ashamed by my ancestor, who I think was a vile man. But what I think I can do is focus on the future and trying to make the world a better place. I know that I can't change the past. He existed 200 years ago or whenever it was, and I know I can't change that, but I think I can do something by standing up and saying what I think.
Gladstone's apology formed a major part of the launch of the University of Guyana Centre for Migration and Diaspora Studies. As part of their contribution to the university and the country, the family will be funding a number of projects here. The chairman of the Guyana Reparations Committee and member of the CARICOM Reparations Council, Dr. Eric Phillips, accepted the apology while chronicling the impact of slavery.
Slavery was not only a crime against humanity, it was a crime against African humanity. It was the first nuclear bomb the world has ever seen. Slavery tried to annihilate Africa, African culture, African family structures, African institutions, African commerce, African growth, African history, African pride, and African economic development.
Dr. Phillips said notwithstanding the crimes committed against Africans, they forged ahead, and today their contributions to the development of Guyana are immeasurable.
In 1839, 83 freed African women and men bought plantation Northbrook for $10,000 US. And this precipitated the village movement, which was one of the greatest entrepreneurial acts by freed Africans anywhere in the world. Freed Africans in Guyana bought over 300 plantations and turned them into villages. These villages are now the basis of Guyana. Their entrepreneurship was so incredible that within 12 months of the first purchase in 1839, freed Africans asserted their independence in a dramatic way. Of a total African population of 82,000 in British Guyana at the time, over 42,000 lived in villages they had bought and for which they had established their own local government. So the first local government goes back to our African ancestors. And it's been calculated that when you look at the cost of the land and what they invested, within 12 years, they'd invested over $2.5 million, which in today's terms would be over $1 billion.
Vice Chancellor of the University of Guyana, Dr. Paloma Mohammed, said it was the first and most significant apology to be received by Guyana and a critical step towards healing. However, she clarified that the university's role in bringing the Gladstone family to Guyana was not driven by money.
The university was not involved in this for money. The university is involved in this for the spiritual, moral, intellectual, and socio-economic healing and understanding that has to take place in our country.
The University of Guyana and the Guyana Reparations Committee negotiated with the Gladstone family for the apology, which included both slavery and indentureship. While it has been established that John Gladstone owned several plantations, it is also believed that he also played a critical role in indentureship. President Irfan Ali has indicated that the family should do more than just apologize. More news coming up in just a moment.
It's been a long time coming. Overdue, some might say. But now that it's here, it will change life forever. And it is here to stay. The future is now. Transforming Guyana into the 21st century. Introducing GTT Fiber. Experience internet connectivity like never before. Speeds you deserve at prices you can afford from a name you can trust. Sign up today. GTT Fiber is here. GTT. Together, we rise faster.
Oh my lord. I just love to shop in this store. My customers, them gonna love all these things. So many different things in one place. Household items, electronics, toys, stationery, confectionery, exercise equipment, shoes and clothes for men, women and children, school things, costume, jewelry, perfume, makeup. Oh, look the makeup.
Giftland Office Max, Guyana's favorite department store.
Having your own car means peace of mind.
Having your own car means comfort and convenience.
Having your own car means freedom to get there on your own time.
It's Deal on Wheels at Republic Bank. It's time to get that new vehicle or upgrade to a better one with Republic. Super low rates and low down payment. Up to 8 years to repay and great prizes. Come in to Republic Bank today.
Republic Bank. We're the one for you.
Guyana, the International Building Expo is back. The advances made in the housing, construction, and infrastructure sector is everyone's business. Come down to the Guyana National Stadium from Thursday, August 24th through Sunday, August 27th and get a glimpse of the latest in building techniques. Interact with service providers in the sector and financial institutions. Make it a family affair and bring the kids too. Enjoy free entry during our grand opening night on August 24th from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. Admission fee applies after 8 p.m. Gates open at 11 a.m. daily from August 25th to 27th. Admission easy. Adults $500 and kids under 12 free.
I love this place. You are in it. Oh no, welcome to Building Expo. Monster, bust the flavors. We're full of flavors. Bust the flavors, that my crave for. We're full of flavors. Tell your neighbors about the bust the flavors. Grab a bust the flavors. Yeah, thirst buster. Grab a buster. Bust the flavor, taste the savor. Bust the flavors. Bust the flavors.
Are you looking for the best high school education at affordable fees? Then register your child today at the VYC Academy. Now enrolling grades 7, 8, and 9 students for the 2023-2024 academic year. VYC Academy, achieving academic excellence. For more information, call us on 227-1013 or WhatsApp us at 613-4806.
Strong and solid in countries far and wide. New India Assurance, we're standing by your side. Golden service, half a century and more. New India Assurance, our policies are secure. From the heart of India, we serve these islands. The strength that you can trust, you're safe when you come to us.
New India Assurance Company. Assurance when you need it most.
For your home, motor or business insurance, visit New India Guyana office, 58 Brickdam next to Star Computers. Telephone 226-0415-7. Comfortable parking available.
Well, Opposition Member of Parliament Amanza Walton Desir was among the persons who attended this morning's apology for slavery by the descendants of a British slave plantation owner. In an interview with News Source just after, the Member of Parliament said the apology issued by the descendants of John Gladstone is an important part of the healing process. She said the apology was appropriate and the first step in achieving reparatory justice.
And it is important that we put this in context, because if you follow the 10-point plan for reparations that CARICOM has laid out, you understand that the apology is just the first step. Every journey begins with the first step. And I think it was an important first step to healing 400 years of trauma that my ancestors and ancestors of most Guyanese would have faced.
Ms. Walton Desir also noted that while she understands the concern of some persons about the sufficiency of the apology, she looks forward to the next step. CARICOM's 10-point plan establishes the need for a formal apology from the governments of Europe, reparations, the development of indigenous people, and the establishment of cultural institutions. African rights activist Nicole Cole told reporters that the apology from the Gladstones is simply not enough, although a step in the right direction.
When you look at the conditions and what is happening to persons of African descent, just being within the skin is like breathing while black is a crime. And so the legacies or the indelible mark that slavery would have left, no apology can suffice, okay? But it is a step towards recognizing that a crime was committed and that people's lives have been disrupted because of this crime.
Cole said for those reasons she could not wholeheartedly accept the apology. She also told reporters that while the Gladstone family has committed to work with the University of Guyana, the Guyana Reparations Committee continues to push for reparations.
If he would have said that there is a commitment, well, he did say that he's going to meet with some groups, but there is a commitment to ensure that within the British institutions, all those institutions where you still have slave-like things happening, his family is going to be become advocate and ambassador towards ensuring that those things are actually torn down. Reparations that we've been fighting the British for so long. The family now is going to champion that.
The chairman of the Guyana Reparations Committee, Dr. Eric Phillips, accepted the apology from the Gladstone family today.
Traveling soon? Then come into John Lewis Styles on Waterloo Street and let's help you choose the right set of luggage. You can choose to buy 3-piece luggage sets, or separate pieces, but the sets are always a better deal. Either available in soft poly, or ABS hard side material, with 4-wheeled spinners, and in many colors too. Also available are carry-on luggage, computer bags, duffel bags, backpacks, travel pillows, blankets and lots more to make your trip enjoyable. John Lewis Styles. Simply different.
Access to quality education for Guyanese countrywide is becoming a reality with the support of monies from the country's oil and gas sector. Some $94.4 billion was allocated this year to support the further development of the education sector. This covers access to textbooks, transportation to school, and hot meals for thousands of students. 30% of the funds used to propel development such as this in Guyana this year is being provided from the country's oil revenues. Your health, safety, and security are paramount. In 2023, $2 billion is being invested to expand the Safe Country initiative to regions 3 and 6 and is geared towards improving the detection of criminal activities with the use of ICT solutions. Funds earned from oil production are supporting initiatives such as these to bolster the crime-fighting efforts of the Guyana Police Force through the provision and installation of intelligent video surveillance sites.
Would you like to study medicine in Guyana? Admissions are open for Doctor of Medicine. Contact us on the numbers to learn more on how you can get started today. You can also visit our website to see all other opportunities available.
Did you know that John Lewis Styles carries back-to-school items? Besides clothing and footwear, you can also get lunch bags from $3,500, backpacks from $4,500, and pulley backpacks from $10,995, all for the same price or less than buying online, and it's already here. Also, get a chance to win one RCA tablet every week in August. Enter to win with every $5,000 you spend. That's 4 tablets you can Google homework with. John Lewis Styles. Simply different.
Having your own car means peace of mind.
Having your own car means comfort and convenience.
Having your own car means freedom to get there on your own time.
It's Deal on Wheels at Republic Bank. It's time to get that new vehicle or upgrade to a better one with Republic. Super low rates and low down payment. Up to 8 years to repay and great prizes. Come in to Republic Bank today.
Republic Bank. We're the one for you.
Turning our attention now to the housing sector and the Building Expo taking place this weekend. With an estimated 57,000 housing applications on file, President Irfan Ali last evening said that significant investment is needed to reduce that backlog and bring the system up to date, even as he acknowledged that applications are being received daily. Speaking at the opening of the International Building Expo, President Ali said the plan is to reduce the backlog within the next 3 years by developing thousands of house lots and building new homes in a number of regions. The development of the new house lots could carry a cost of over $170 billion, according to the president. He said even with that investment, the backlog may not be fully cleared.
That is the scale of development and the magnitude of development and work that is ahead of us. That is the level of investment that the government must find to deliver service house lot to all the applicants. And this is a simple example as to where the revenue will be spent and how it will be spent to create house lots that will give you homes, that will empower you.
President Ali was quick to point out that the sum is for the house lots only and not the required infrastructure needed for those new areas to develop.
In this one project alone, to develop the highway, to open up the opportunity for the land, you have to invest almost $400 billion or 500 million US dollars. That is more than the entire capital budget of this year.
He also asks those citizens with applications in the system to be patient as the government tries to open up new areas for housing. He explained that with every new housing area there are new challenges. And the president said too that there will be more emphasis on the creation of housing areas outside of Region 4, although the demand for housing is greatest in the region that is home to the capital city. The International Building Expo has brought together scores of exhibitors and companies in the housing, finance, and building sectors. It continues for the entire weekend. Still with housing, while the government has indicated that it is on track to keep its promise of providing 50,000 new house lots in 5 years, it is now faced with the challenge of thousands of new applications being added to the system. During his address at the opening of that Building Expo, Minister of Housing and Water Colin Crowell said while the government is trying to clear the backlog of the applications in the system, the demand for lands for residential and commercial purposes continues to grow.
Migration and the formation of new families have outpaced urban housing supply, and these factors have pushed some people into outlying areas and informal settlements that are vulnerable to climate risks, and which also contribute to environmental degradation or the loss of biodiversity for some kind or the other.
Persons who were allocated lands continue to complain, however, about the long way to access those lands to begin their home construction. The minister said the matter is being addressed. He noted that while the promise of delivering 10,000 house lots annually has been going smoothly, the demand for more house lots has forced the government to also include building and handing over complete houses to citizens, as well as regularizing a number of informal settlements.
For 2023 alone, we have allocated in this year over 4,600 residential lots, 115 commercial lots. We have regularized 224 informal lots, established 15 new housing developments right here on the East Bank and the East Coast since the last Expo.
Minister Kroll admitted that while the sector has had notable challenges, it is also facing successes. He highlighted the difficulty that citizens encounter at times while conducting their transactions at the Housing Ministry. And he said a single window system, which will be introduced soon, will see applications for housing and other transactions being submitted from anywhere in the world, and persons being able to receive real-time updates.
The housing sector is changing. Demand is outpacing supply, and we recognize that we must have to work even faster to keep up.
Meanwhile, over 2,000 house lots are expected to be allocated at the Expo this weekend, bringing the total number of allocations so far in 3 years to 27,000.
Would you like to study medicine in Guyana? Admissions are open for Doctor of Medicine. Contact us on the numbers to learn more on how you can get started today. You can also visit our website to see all other opportunities available.
Did you know that Gassi's Jet A1 fuel is a type of aviation fuel specially formulated for turbine engines? Jet A1 fuel is safer to handle and transport than any other fuel types due to its high flash point and low volatility. It also boasts a high energy content, enhancing aircraft performance and efficiency. So whether traveling for business or pleasure, choose Guyana's Jet A1 fuel for a safe, reliable, and efficient flight.
Sorry.
Jack?
Hey.
Boys, where you going with all that speed?
Yo, today's the 15th. My NIS contributions are due, and I ain't even get the forms as yet.
Hold on. You mean to tell me that you're not aware that all self-employed persons can now make their NIS contributions using the MMG app from the comforts of their homes and offices?
Really? I just pay my bills using MMG,
Yes, Jack, and the thing's simple. All you have to do is open the app, select Pay Bills, Government Services, NIS, and Pay. They will prompt you to enter your NIS number, the month you're paying for, and the amount.
So I don't need to submit any form?
The only time you submit in a form is when you're making a claim.
Wait, I could make a claim too?
Oh, no, man, you didn't know that? Yes, all self-employed persons are entitled to all benefits from NIS. Well, except for the industrial benefits. And here's the good part. All of their forms, you can download them from the NIS website.
Girl, I'm really glad I bumped into you.
Anyhow, make sure you pay your bills later.
Later? I gotta sit down right here and pay my contributions first.
Take care.
For further information, please visit the website at www.nis.org.gy, the National Insurance Scheme Facebook page, or your nearest NIS office.
Food Max Supermarket, located on the ground floor at the Giftland Mall, is your one-stop shop for all your grocery needs. We stock a variety of imported frozen meat and food products, fresh produce, and pet supplies, freshly made bread. Rotisserie chicken and patties are also available daily. Shop in comfort today at Food Max and let our courteous staff assist you in satisfying your shopping needs. Food Max, the fresh food specialist.
It's one of your biggest goals, getting your own home, where memories are made, where happiness lives. You may feel that home ownership or renovation is beyond your reach, but we at Republic want you to know that there's always a way. Ask us about our suite of mortgages. Let's help make your housing wishes come true. Or advise on how the equity in your existing home can finance other dreams and goals. Call or go online to learn more.
Look who's in the mix now. The new Buster Soda Water. 0 calories, 0 sugar, 0 artificial flavors. 100% refreshing. Taste Buster Soda Water today. Buster Soda Water. Now available for only $120.
With your regional and international news tonight, I'm Svetlana Marshall. In the region, the government of the Bahamas has unveiled several bills aimed at legalizing marijuana for medical and religious purposes and decriminalizing possession of small amounts, joining other Caribbean nations that have taken similar steps. If approved, those caught with less than 30 grams or 1 ounce of marijuana would pay a fine of $250, and the incident would not appear on their criminal record. Buying marijuana for recreational purposes would remain illegal. Officials said licenses for cultivation, retail, transport, and religious use would only be granted to companies that are entirely Bahamian-owned. Licenses for research, testing, and manufacturing would be awarded to companies that are at least 30% Bahamian-owned. Attorney General Ryan Pinder told reporters Thursday that marijuana for religious purposes could only be smoked on the premises of a licensed organization. The government envisions creating a cannabis authority to regulate the industry. Public hearings on the issue are scheduled for September, and legislation could be approved before next year. Suriname health authorities are warning of the presence of the dengue type 3 in the country after an absence of more than 21 years. Chief of Environmental Inspection of the Bureau of Public Health BOG, Stephanie Sheikh Alam, said as a result, all 4 types of the mosquito-borne disease are now present in the Dutch-speaking Caribbean community CARICOM country, with the dengue type 3 predominating. She disclosed no figures. She said a large part of the population, especially young people under the age of 20, is vulnerable to this type of dengue. She said the authorities are seeking to identify the locations where the cases come from, but BOG is in a difficult situation due to poor reporting from the doctors. In July, BOG intensified dengue prevention activities by, among other things, increasing spraying activities. And finally tonight, international news. The photo of Donald Trump scowling defiantly into the camera in the Fulton County Sheriff's Office will go down in history, BBC said in a report. The mugshot, the first of a former U.S. president, came after his 4th arrest in 5 months. Mr. Trump posted on X, formerly known as Twitter, for the first time since January 2021 to share the address of his website and the mugshot with all capital letters captioned "Election Interference, Never Surrender." Within hours, his campaign website was selling mugshot branded mugs, t-shirts, and drink coolers. John Bolton, who served as National Security Advisor under Mr. Trump, said the image was likely carefully staged. Mr. Trump was charged last week with 18 alleged co-conspirators with attempting to overturn his 2020 election defeat in the state of Georgia. At least 11 of the co-conspirators have so far been booked and processed at the local jail in Atlanta. While the former president and his supporters are clearly pleased with his mugshot, photos of his allies have been less well received.
And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting and encouraging you to stay safe.